President William Ruto could easily be running Kenya's most expensive presidency, with cash spent on running key offices expected to hit 100 billion shillings at the end of the current financial year. Analysis of disclosures by the National Treasury, Controller of the Budget and the Auditor General indicates that Dr. Ruto's presidency has spent 88.8 billion shillings in under 4 years, rivaling the 89.9 billion shillings Uhuru Kenyatta spent in his 10-year tenure. The analysis tracks spending by offices under the presidency and compared to Mr. Kenyatta's 2013 to 2022 tenure, with Dr. Ruto's reign between 2022 and March 2026. In the first year of Mr. Kenyatta's administration, that is in 2012 to 2013, spending by the presidency constituted 0.38% of the national government budget of 1.17 trillion shillings. By the end of his first term in 2017, the presidency's budget stood at 0.49% of the 1.9 trillion shillings budget, then fall to 0.44% of the 2.9 trillion shillings budget in 2021 to 2022, that is his final year in office. In absolute terms, however, spending under the presidency jumped 2.8 times during Mr. Kenyatta's tenure, from 4.5 billion shillings in 2012 to 2013 to 12.9 billion shillings in 2021-2022. Under President William Ruto, spending under the big office has jumped 2.5 times from where Mr. Kenyatta left in 2021-2022 to stand at 32.22 billion shillings in the current year budget. As a proportion of the national government budget, it has moved from 0.44% in 2021-2022 to 0.77% of the current year's budget of 4.2 trillion shillings. Overall, the national government spending between 2022-2023, when President William Ruto assumed office, and the current financial year has grown by 32.1% to 4.2 trillion shillings. Of the billions spent by the end of March this year, 93.7%, that is 83 billion shillings, went to recurrent expenses such as paying salaries, hosting delegations, fuel and per diems for bureaucrats, exposing the extravagance of a presidency that campaigned for austerity. Spending under the presidency during Dr. Ruto's reign has moved from 23.3 billion shillings in his first year in office, 22.8 billion shillings in 2023-2024, and 21.14 billion shillings in the year to June 2025. During the current fiscal year, at least 21.5 billion shillings had already been released by the end of March, but this will rise to 32.2 billion shillings by the end of June, after the budget was increased by 14 billion in the latest budget revision. With the highest spending of 36.3 billion shillings between July 2022 and March 2026, State House has been the true center of power, with its major activities including hosting of delegations and political gatherings. It was also a hive of construction activities for some time after President Ruto took over. The State House is followed by the Executive Office of the President, which has spent 35.1 billion shillings over the 3 years and 9 months, largely on salaries, travel expenses, and administration costs. The presidency's spending under the current administration is the highest on record and is expected to surpass Mr. Kenyatta's 10-year spend before June. Between July 2012 and June 2022, about 2 months to the exit of Mr. Kenyatta, the presidency had spent a combined 89.9 billion shillings. This included budgets under the Executive Office of the President, Office of the Deputy President, Office of the First Lady, and the Office of Former Presidents. During his first term to 2017, Mr. Kenyatta spent 36.2 billion shillings, putting 31.9 billion shillings to recurrent activities and 4.3 billion shillings to development projects. This amount rose by a third to 49.1 billion shillings during the second term, mainly on account of high expenditures by State House, which scooped more than half of the spend. The presidency's spending in this current administration is the highest on record, and is expected to surpass Mr. Kenyatta's 10-year spend before June this year. Reporting for PMTV Kenya, I'm Anton Dolo.